Hello, everyone. What if everyone was born without hair? Now, before you start thinking, what is she talking about? Just hear me out. About a year ago, me and my brother were sitting in our living room asking each other different what-if questions when we landed on the one about hair. We started to argue with each other if we would cherish and worship people born with hair in the society without it, or would we shun them and see them as outcasts. In life, our modern world is drowning in societal standards about what we see as beautiful. So if there was a world without hair, what would we define as beautiful? I myself have struggled with how I see my body in a mirror, and I know I'm not the only one. I want others to feel supported if they ever feel this way either. Throughout history, hair has always been a key factor to show wealth, confidence, and self-expression. So if there was a world without hair, what kind of societal standards would there be? What would we define as beautiful? When I was younger, I used to dye my hair really bright, fun colors. It ranged from purple, blue, to even red. This is how I expressed my personality and style. So when I asked myself what I would do without my hair, I was stuck. After a long time of thinking about this topic, I started to ask my friends and family what they would do. A lot of them, mostly male, said that it wouldn't affect their life at all. But others said that they would show their form of expression through bright clothing and tattoos. Bright clothing and tattoos are already pretty relevant in the society we live in today, so think about the impact it would have on societal standards in a world without hair. Now this brings me back to the topic of how we would treat people born with hair in a society without it. I used to think we would cherish and worship these people. I truly did. But as I've gotten older, I realized that our world today rejects anyone with an irregular trait, so why would it be different in this alternate universe? This can bring a whole world of questions about what we define as beautiful. Not just with hair, but with everything else. But why? Why do we live in a world where you're judged for every minor thing about you? From the way you walk, talk, and even breathe. From the time you're little to the time you die, you will be suffocated with comments on the way you look, act, and dress. As I've gotten older, I've had to accept this harsh reality, and have even gone through some growing periods myself. So, raise your hand if you have ever had someone comment on you in a negative way. Keep your hand up if that comment stuck with you longer than it should have. Not only everyone in this room, but everyone in the world has experienced this, which can severely mess with your mental health. I've had personal experiences with being degraded and told I'm not pretty enough. Those comments stuck with me a lot more than any compliment ever did. So, this put me in a bad enough mental state to where I didn't think I was good enough for anything. And this brings me to a story I would like to share with you guys today. About a year ago, I was dating this guy who was my best friend. He moved 10 hours away, but we still continued to date. But my relationship and friendship with him quickly came to an end. That year, I was struggling socially with how people viewed me. I was called names that should never exist, pushed out of my friend group for things I still don't understand, and teased by people for mistakes I had made in my past. I wanted to be accepted so bad. I wanted to be viewed like all of my friends. Pretty, funny, and kind. This led me to doing unreasonable things for guys to like me. I lost all my self-worth that year and how I viewed myself as a person. And unfortunately, this led to the end of a friendship with one of the most important people in my life. After I lost that important friendship, I knew I needed to work on myself. I started working out and writing in a journal every time something came up in my life. I learned that I am more valuable than these standards were supposed to meet. That I should cherish these small, perfect moments I get, because I only get them once. I want people to know their value. Some of people's insecurities are the most beautiful aspects about them. So, you should be able to express yourself without being judged and called stupid things. For example, in ancient Egypt, 1550 BCE, they saw women with more rounder, pronounced stomachs as a highly desired feature. In the 1400s, they saw big foreheads is all the rage, with even women going to the lengths of plucking their hairline and their eyebrows for men to like them. And in the 1920s, they saw a boyish figure with a flat chest as to be very gorgeous. Standards are meaningless. Every other day, there's going to be a new standard on what is seen as pretty. So why are we wasting our time? I hope one day we can live in a world where people aren't judged for the way they look. Maybe we can live in a world where there weren't hard definitions of pretty and ugly. So whether you have stretch marks, scars, birthmarks, body hair, or no hair at all, you are beautiful. Thank you for listening to my talk.